Welcome back to another F2 session. Driver career here with Herb Herbert after his inaugural win last time in España, in Barcelona. If you have not seen that, go back and watch that amazing race led from the front with a nice quick qualifying into a race win. Held off some opponents that pushed, some DRS zones that were a little tricky, but held off in what was a clean race to take the first podium and first win of this F2 season with this driver. We are back now in Austria. We had a wet practice. Can we go back and see the practice? I'm not sure we can. We go straight into qualifying now before the 14-lap feature race, but we do have some sunshine here. We got one bit of race acclimatization on practice in the dry. On the softs, we were about 4th or 5th fastest. So, hoping that we can bring that forward to a decent position in quali. Spielberg at the Red Bull Ring. Ay, 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 what a beautiful circuit. And what a circuit it is to drive. Short circuit, quick circuit. Lots of opportunities to bin it by cutting corners too quickly. But hopefully, we're on super softs as well. Oh, super softs. Ay, 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 mamma mia. Okay, one shot quali. Let's at least, I don't need a pole for this one. I don't need to be fastest, but let's just not be last. It didn't feel the quickest, but where was it? Quali done, and we are 15th. Okay. Not great, but not last. So that gives me some hope at least. That corner at the end of the straight, I took at a snail's pace. 15th overall. Let's see how we
With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the feature race tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Feature race tomorrow. We are Daravula and Porsche leading up as we expect. But we're already down 15th, just off the main thing, 4.4 seconds away. Okay, but we are within a pack of people. Iwasa. We need to beat. We're still ahead of, Hadjar. We're ahead by Hadjar, which is good. As long as we're number one driver, that's all we kind of care about. As we look for some more points, we're going to need to push hard to get some additional points to help us in our push up the table. 7th we stand going into this race. A 15 quali isn't great, but I tell you what, we're doing. I mean, whilst the nose is going to be definitely a problem, we may lose a nose here. At least we're going to get some racing. Starting from 15th means we have some racing on this fast circuit to be had here today. So it could be glory, or it could be a crash and burn. 14 laps in the sun on the Red Bull Ring. Can we make it up from 15th? What is the strategy here?
It's race day here at Spielberg, and the drivers are making their final preparations down on the grid before lights out. Look around, it's a spectacular setting, and I'm sure today's race will do it justice. Spielberg is a very short lap, one of the shortest we'll see in this Formula 2 championship. 7 rights and 3 lefts make up the 10 corners of the circuit. The left-hand kink of turn 2, leading into the uphill braking of turn 3, represents another overtake hotspot. With that then, let's run through the grid order. Jan Daruvula lines up on pole position. And starting alongside in P2 is Théo Pourchaire. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Martins, Leclerc, Ollie Behrman, Doohan, Vesti, Hauger, Novalak, Enzo Fittipaldi, Iwasa, Correa, Kushmaini, Richard Verschoor, Herbert, Benavides, Hadjar and Ralph Boschung. Stanek, Maloney, Cordial and Roy Nissany completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Let's head down to the track.
Hello one, hello all, and welcome to the commentary
You talk
box.
about
I'm Alex
changeable
Jakes.
weather.
He is Alex Brundle, and we have changeable conditions
we do.
today, Alex. How does that uncertainty affect the strategy?
There is no
There are
changeable
gonna be some
conditions.
quivering hands on the tyre guns, aren't there, when they tighten up what could easily be the wrong specification of tyre
15th.
completely for the conditions. It's a gamble out there.
All right, let's do it. One stopper, 14 laps. It's easy, it's easy. Here we are with the Austrian Grand Prix. Herbert starting in 15th after his win last time round in Spain. And it's lights out and away we go. Leading the pack, Daravala, Pourchaire, Martins as the top three. Leclerc up there as well. Behrman makes a move early on Leclerc as Herbert round the outside on the first corner. Up to 12th position on the super softs here in this 14-lap race in F2. The F2 Championship leaders sitting top here. Herbert getting in and amongst the pack as he makes another move into the third corner here. Goes close. Is that contact? It doesn't look like contact. Look like the wing is okay, but up to 10th for Herbert. What a move from 15th to 10th within a few corners here. Fittipaldi in front. He is passed by his teammate. Dropped down to 16th Hadjar now as Herbert makes moves early here in the Grand Prix. Behrman up in 4th there. Behrman having a tough season so far with multiple car issues, but now the car seems to be settled. It seems to be performing well. And like we say, Daravala, Pourchaire and Martins, the 1, 2, 3 in the championship, leading this race here as 1, 2, 3. But we have got eyes here on the man that disrupted the pack in Spain, getting the win last time out in this F2 championship. Sitting 10th as we go into lap 2 here in the Spielberg ring. It's been a nice, wide, fast track here. Not as many chances to overtake as we are seeing here, although there is a move down the inside. Herbert has made the and the move and gone very close. Fittipaldi has been taken there. Herbert up to 9th, well inside the top 10 now, and into the points again for the driver. Looking to climb his way up these rankings as we push into the second half of the season. The speed on Herbert here as well, as he is on the wheel. That looked like one car there between Hauger and Herbert there, as he was within a touching distance, very close. The front wing still looking good on Herbert's car. We know to watch out for that one, as he does tend to have a few incidents, lost a few places earlier, and you can see some paintwork scuffed on the front of his wing there, where there definitely has been some contact already, but luckily appears to have not taken any serious damage. As we over the line into the third lap here, first corner, will there be a move made as he goes wide, overrunning all four wheels off the track? We'll have to watch that. The FIA won't like that at all, not if any advantages to be gained as they come up the hill. Fittipaldi actually behind Herbert there, looking to make the move himself. About to defend well as this train of cars carries on, as we tend to see in the F2 with the standard series vehicle, that the DRS trains and the trains of vehicles in the races tend to be a staple of these races, coming down to individual drivers to make the move where they feel they can on the tracks that permit, or in Herbert's case, on any corner that he thinks has a slight inkling of a gap, whether that means losing the front wing or not. As we watch him now come down round. Hauger, the next target for young driver. The top four remaining exactly the same. Vesti in the 4th position in the overall leaders. Had some poor running, some loss of points, but in the points here in 6th place, which is good to see for the championship and for that team. Herbert is on right in the back of Hauger, dragging him out off the racing line, cuts back to the racing line. Is he going to make the move on Hauger here as he goes round? He's forced him wide. He's gone all the way round. He has taken him. That was a off the track manoeuvre there. Hauger blocking Herbert down the main straight. As Hauger looks to make the move back on Herbert here. You can see they've gone free wide into this corner. Is that? No. Oh my god, that's Fittipaldi onto Hauger behind Herbert. They look like they're going to go free wide into the corner. Herbert got in front of Fittipaldi. Fittipaldi and Hauger now fighting, giving some space to Herbert to pull away. Half a second the gap now with the pack behind. That move from Herbert on Hauger after Hauger blocked him all the way down the main straight. Herbert pulling back to the racing line to take the faster boomerang on the first corner there. And now he's built some gap up to 8th position. A good drive here from the young driver as Jack Doohan is the next target for Herbert as he sharks and snakes to close that gap to Doohan up front. 7 tenths the difference behind, 3 tenths in front as Herbert is leaving a pack behind and gaining. Smelling blood in the water again as the shark Herbert hunts down Doohan here. He's up to 2 tenths on the main straight. DRS enabled. This is where he made the move on Hauger. Just getting close as he comes inside. He's going to try and force the wheel inside. No, so stays behind. Doohan here, just letting him know in the mirrors he's there. Just letting him know in the mirrors that he's behind and waiting to make a move as he's close again. Goes wide on the corner. Is he going to make the move? He's gone wide round the outside of Doohan. What a move. Simple and effective. Forcing Doohan on the inside of the curb. Taking all of his speed to the outside. And round the outside he goes. Up to 7th for Herbert here. What a drive. Reminder, Herbert started 15th in this race. Has made it up to 7th place within the 5 laps. The driver showing some of the speed and maybe a little bit of the necessary patience in making his moves, picking his time so as to save damage to the car and ultimately make places up rather than losing places and end up at the back of the grid. 1 second is his gap to Vesti, one of his championship or closest championship rivals. Here, can he close any gap to him again? Can he leave behind? Doohan is 6-7 tenths behind Herbert now as he is again leaving behind anyone he passes. He's leaving behind in a pack as he goes on to hunt the next target. 6 laps in, nearly halfway through this race. The pit stop will be soon to get the super softs off, likely onto a set of softs to finish the race. We'll see who comes in first, who comes in second, and whether pit stops change anything about this order here. But going into this lap, 7th place is Herbert, and he is on the tail of Vesti. Nice helicopter cam here, seeing that gap behind. You can really see how far Herbert has come, pushing Doohan to 1.1 seconds away as he stays or tries to keep within the half a second of Vesti himself, struggling a little maybe to make up the time as the tyre wear tends to kick in. Right, that's the first lot of people coming into the pit, and it looks like Herbert's going first on the pits. Half the pack pitting first, half the pack pitting on the next lap. So Portier, Daravala staying out. Who's come in? There's a train of cars on the way in here. He will be looking to come out. Remember, 7th place was where Herbert was when he entered. So will we see whether the pit is going to work for him or not work as we see those softs being ready to go on. But there is a huge train of cars here. Where is the gap? They've not released into the gap. They've released dangerously into one of the other F2 cars here who's coming in. Potentially losing some time there. The release didn't look great from the pit crew. As that is Vesti coming out now. That is Herbert behind Vesti. Okay. Maybe not so bad. Maybe not so bad. As they come round. Now this secondary pack doing half a lap on their own. Trying to keep pace. Trying to wear in these soft tyres. Get as much heat into them as possible to lose no time to not be undercut by the pack that have stayed out for one more lap. Herbert behind Portier and Vesti. Portier being, you can see that 16-second gap there, so 12th place is where we are. So half the pack coming in. Portier with a second to Vesti, with a second, 1.7 seconds to Herbert, and Doohan behind. Herbert's going to need to put his foot down here, get the tyres nicely warmed up, catch up Vesti, because he's going to slot in somewhere post this pit stop joining, and he needs to be in 7th or above. Okay, we're starting to see the cars pass as we're coming down and round. That's the pit entrance. This is the main straight. So round that last corner, Herbert onto the main straight. We can see cars pulling out of the pit lane now. as everybody is passing. There we go. That is the train. What a shot overhead to see Herbert coming out. The car's coming round and pitting out in front of Herbert's up to 5th. A fantastic pit stop. 7th up to 5th. Leclerc falling well behind. Darval down 7th as well behind Duhan. There's going to be a lot of teams pushing here now. Pourchaire, Martins, Vesti in 3rd, Behrman in 4th, and Herbert in 5th. Wow. The overcut worked. Up a few places. A good pit release. I'd take it all back. As Herbert hunts down Behrman now to, from here, with the second half of the race to go, Herbert could easily be looking to push for a podium finish here. That looks like a car out in front. Smoke on the track. Slowing down the cars. Who is that? Is that Pourchaire pulling out? That's Pourchaire with an engine problem. Yellow flag. Dangerous play there as Herbert was chasing down, looking for the overtake on Behrman. Has a little look there again. As Pourchaire pulled to one side in a cloud of smoke. Luckily, no damage to any cars, no drivers injured. As on the main straight here, Herbert's going to push Behrman with the DRS. He's pulled him out to the outside. Similar move to that of Hauger. Takes the outside, going to go for the boomerang round. Has a look, makes the move on Behrman before he even gets to the corner. What a move. And Herbert is up to 3rd in this Austrian Grand Prix from 15th place. Bit of luck with the pit stop. Quick pit stop. Very aggressive overtaking, but very considered overtaking from the driver. No real damage to the car. You see a bit of paint scuff on that front wing, but it looks to be in good condition otherwise. 1.3 seconds the Vesti in front, and Martins, the front 2 pack, who are hunting each other down there. Herbert will be looking to leave Behrman behind that gap, already up to 7/10. And coming round as we look to finish. Nice run wide there as we go round that penultimate corner onto the home straight. Herbert down to 3/10 of Vesti. What a lap from Herbert to pull up from a second behind to being within touching distance of Vesti and Martins here. Oh, he's gone over the short on the corner. Herbert pushing here. 10 laps on the 14 completed, and there is a front 3 pack here fighting. Will Herbert hold on and try and take a podium or push further as Vesti looks to make the move on Martins? Oh my God, that was another front end touch from Herbert there into the back of Vesti. More paint scuffed off, a hole in that front wing. He has to watch as he goes side by side with Vesti. Wheel to wheel, Vesti's going to hold him out. Good defensive drive. There are some other very good defensive drivers for as aggressive as Herbert can be. Some of these other drivers are incredibly defensive. Behrman takes Leclerc as they have a fight in 4th, but they are 2 seconds behind this front 3 pack now. This is where the race podium is going to be decided. Martins, Vesti and Herbert. Again, a 1/10 of a second behind, looking for that gap. Will he wait and do it on the home straight as he's done 2 or 3 times before? We come round. Right in the back, DRS will go on, absolutely sniffing. He's going to try and pull. He doesn't manage to pull Vesti over, so he's going to take the inside line. He's not going to have enough to dive bomb. Vesti not. Oh, that's more contact. More contact again from Herbert and Vesti as they go in again. This is the strongest nose I have ever seen. Will Herbert look just to pull back and hold on? Will the team be on the radio telling him, he's got to get on, that's a piece, that's a bit of carbon fibre. That's the side. Part of the nose is gone. Yeah, you can see that front left-hand side, or front right-hand as we're looking at it. As Herbert goes into the back of Vesti. Vesti defending aggressively against Herbert, leaving no space. Herbert might have to just drop back here. He has 1.5 seconds and 3 laps to make it with a broken wing now. They won't be wanting to pit this late into the race, but maybe he will have to hold off his attack of the front 2 just to hold on to a podium place here. This could spell disaster. 1.4 seconds the gap. We'll be keeping an eye on Behrman here to see whether he starts to close on Herbert. Herbert's still sticking with Vesti despite the damage. A lot of straights here. Downforce maybe not as affected. Not too many tight turns. The car not overly affected, although with 2 laps to go, the tyre wear is going to start to play in as well. 1.5 seconds to Behrman. Can Herbert hold on for a third here? Big movements as well with Pourchaire DNFing and where is he? Daravula down in 6th place. Martins will be making a huge jump in the leaderboard here with Vesti as well. There's 2 of the chasing pack to those 2 drivers. As Herbert, look at the driving line difference here. As Herbert struggling with the downforce, struggling in the corners. Vesti now half a second away. Behrman 1.5 seconds. At least Herbert's keeping the distance to that pack behind. As long as they do not break DRS, he should be safe. He just needs to drive a safe race here with that front wing damage. As we come round to go into the penultimate lap here, lap 13 of 14. Martin's leading the race, Vesti in second, Herbert in third. Herbert right up behind Vesti again. Stuck his nose out there, reminded Vesti that despite the damage and despite the defensive driving, he is still here and is still willing to make moves. The right team must be on the radio now, screaming at Herbert just to hold for the third and the positions in the championship. As again, that is like paper thin distance between these cars here as they go around the corner. As Leclerc takes Behrman 1.6 seconds behind. That pack behind, despite anything, well, without a huge issue or a disaster here for Herbert. As he goes wide again though, 1.7 seconds his distance. Lost out that close run to Vesti now. He's pulled back to 7 tenths. Maybe the team have been on the radio just telling him to calm down, just to see home a podium finish with the damage he has with this little time left to go. 15th up to 3rd is quite the drive, and I would be surprised if it was not a driver of the day performance here from Herbert. As the DRS flaps open, the front 3 pull away, 1.5 seconds. Leclerc to Herbert. Herbert half a second, or just over half a second, from Vesti as we enter this final lap. Is this our front 3, or do we have a last lap surprise here from Vesti? Vesti and Martin still fighting, and we know 2 cars fighting can cause all sorts of problems. As Vesti is going to make the move, Vesti makes the move on Martins. They go close. Herbert, oh, he's not close enough to capitalise. Martins holds on to first place with Vesti. With the front 2 fighting, it has brought Herbert back into the pack. 2 seconds the gap to anyone behind. These front 3 cars are going to go at it for this last race. The last lap, Herbert coming on the inside. Not got enough speed to get in front of Vesti there. Just tenths of a second between them all. As with a few corners to go, does Vesti have it in him to take Martins? Does Herbert have it in him to capitalise on any mistake from the front 2 as they battle? That looks like a wide corner there from Herbert. Still carrying that front wing damage, of course, as he's dropped back. In these tight, in the middle sector, Herbert is dropping off the pace. The straight is not affected too much by that front wing, but you can tell when they get into the tighter middle section, as they're going to come across the line, this is going to be it. Your winner, Martins. Vesti in second. Herbert in third. A podium from 15th place for Herbert, and a huge amount of points in this Constructors' Championship. Daravula down in 6th, and Porcher down 22nd, DNFing. Gonna might be a little shake-up coming, as a close call from Herbert on his wing.
We'll see the checkered flag first. Victor Martins takes the win.
Well done to Victor Martins. Vesti, what a defensive driver, man. That hard right-hand hairpin.
It's so easy to mess up a call like that, and whatever you do always seems
Look at me,
wrong.
what a legend.
Made it work,
Saying
and that's
great
the
work
important
to
thing.
Martins.
A full points tally.
Oh my sweet baby Jesus.
ART, the French team who have been
There we
racing
are.
since the 90s
Second
in various
podium,
forms of motorsport,
back to back,
are
third
once
this
again
time.
back on the winners'
A
podium
very good
today
from a 15th
after a brilliant
start.
display of driving skill.
We will take that all the way to the points bank. All right, I'm going to be excited there on the bloody podium. Enjoy it under the Red Bull hat. Look at me standing in the middle, pretending I'm number 1. So let's see what that does. Let's see what that does.
After all this drama, you would be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then.
Top ranked British driver, 16 points on the board. Daravula done 8, so we're taking 8 off his lead there. Look at the standings overall. We are sat 5th, right where we want to be. Joint 5th with Hauger. Vesti sitting in front. Vesti, you bastard. Vesti and Martin's in front of us. So we know who the fighters are in front of us. Porsche went out with a car failure during that race. Daravula obviously didn't finish that well. So the gap to Daravula being close slightly, but we are up to 5th. Now, can we hold on to it? Hauga, Iwasa and Duhan being the closest below us, and then obviously we're trying to chomp at the heel of Vesti, Porsche and Martins to get up as high as we can in this F2 driver standing. Constructor standings. Oh, can we look at the constructor standings as well? Fifth overall. Hitachi. 61 points. That's 60 points from me. 1 point from Isaac. Not really bringing it up, is he? This year, it's next year he does well. This year, he's in my dust. Perfect. Well, that's a great place to finish. In the top 5, finally. And I'll see you back next time for another F2 race. Woohoo!